surprise something, which I will look at later. Just the wrapping cloth. Boy, look at this. Boy, it's amazing. So kind of beautiful, beautiful. May I place it up here?
Please.
Oh, thank you, thank you. We have another typhoon kind of coming here. It just comes, you know, 1 minute the sun is out and then the wind is blowing. But I think we'll be fine today. Hello, Brett. Antonio, good to see you. Shonen. Paco, hey. We were just chatting. Onkai. Hey, Bjorn. Hey.
Hi.
5. Give me 5. Wait, I got it in the wrong place. Give me 5. Hey. 5 here. There you go. Okay. Let's see. Very good. All right. Let's put the fans on.
Okay.
If you get bothered with mosquitoes, I'll put a mosquito coil on.
Hi, Russ.
You want me to get a mosquito coil?
Oh, don't bother. Don't.
It's okay?
It's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They gotta eat.
Okay. Oh, there we go. There's Marco. Glad to be here today. Chris might come. Very good. Well, hello everybody. It's a very hot and wet day here. There's a big typhoon that's coming through Japan, hasn't quite reached here yet. I was joking with Marcos that he might have to bring a canoe to get here today. But he made it. Our theme today is Jukai and the Kesa. Now you may say, well, wait a second, why isn't he wearing his Kesa if the theme today is Kesa? Well, this is the 5-panel Kesa, which we will talk about a little later. It's as much a Kesa as the big Kesa, which is the 7, and there's also a 9, and they go on from there. But we'll be talking about that in a little bit and the significance for Jukai. Howdy, stranger.
Hey.
We have a visitor from Mongolia.
Oh, wow.
All right, well, with that, I guess let's get right into it, eh? All right. Everyone, take your positions. Take your positions. All right.
Can you hear me well, Jindo?
Yep.
Good.
First, just me. Yeah. Give me the 3 dot. Give me the 3 dots and the end of the suit, please.
The heart of the perfection of great wisdom sutra. Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, awakened one of compassion in Prajnaparamita, the deep practice of perfect wisdom, perceive the emptiness of all five conditions and was free of suffering. O Shariputra, form is no other than emptiness, emptiness no other than form, form is precisely emptiness, emptiness precisely form, sensations, perceptions, formations, and consciousness are also like this, O Shariputra. All things are expressions of emptiness, not born, not destroyed, not stained, not pure, neither waxing nor waning. Thus emptiness is not form, not sensation nor perception, formation nor consciousness, no eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, no sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, nor object of mind, no realm of sight, no realm of consciousness, no ignorance, no end to ignorance, no old age and death, no cessation of old age and death, no suffering, nor cause or end to suffering, no path, no wisdom, and no gain, no gain. Thus Bodhisattvas live this Prajnaparamita with no hindrance of mind, no hindrance, therefore no fear, far beyond all delusion. Nirvana is already here, all past, present, and future Buddhas live this Prajnaparamita and realize supreme and complete enlightenment. Therefore know that Prajnaparamita is the sacred mantra, the luminous mantra, the supreme mantra, the incomparable mantra by which all offering is clear. This is no other than truth. Therefore set forth the Prajnaparamita mantra, set forth this mantra and proclaim Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Swaha Anya Shinyo. Buddha nature pervades the whole universe, reality existing right here now. In reciting the heart of the perfection of great wisdom sutra, we dedicate our sincere efforts to Shakyamuni Buddha, honored one, the historical Buddha and teacher, and to those ancestral teachers, Eihei Dogen, honored one, Soji Kesa, honored one, all successive honored ones up until Zuigaku Rempo, honored one, and good O awful honored one, and to all other honored ones throughout history, same yet diverse honored ones, whose names have been forgotten or left unsaid. We also dedicate these efforts to the three treasures, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, to all awakened ones and teachers in all places and times. We especially seek tranquility and well-being for all creatures now suffering or ill in health. May they be serene through all their ills. May their lives be at peace and wisdom pervade the darkness of ignorance. We dedicate our hopes and aspirations to all victims of war and violence and natural events, to the injured and to all families touched by these tragedies, to the healing of hatred in all countries and among all peoples, to the wisdom and compassion of our world leaders, to the peace of the world and harmony of all beings. Thus let the harmful effects of words, thoughts, and actions be dispelled, and compassion bloom in perpetual spring. May we all realize and live the enlightened way together. O Buddhas throughout space and time, O Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, Maha Prajna Paramita.
We've had some special requests from some of our members who are having some particular health problems, and also one member who's on the front lines in a war zone and is having a very difficult time with it, and special dedication today to them. Zazen. I'm sorry?
Oh, I'm just getting bent and it's more mobile.
Yeah. I'm gonna put the coral. Sorry about that.
No worries. I have no understanding as well. If you guys need to,
KINHIN. KINHIN. We will now have Zazen and a little talk. You can hear me. Make like you're sewing the Kesa. Sewing the Kesa. Yeah, okay. Next week, with our monthly Zazenkai, we begin our Jukai season, undertaking the precepts. And we prepare with our ceremony in January, all that time doing such things as reflecting on the precepts and sewing a Rakusu. So I'd like to talk about some of that. Of course, the precepts are important in our way. Some folks think it's just about the Zazen and the Zazen and the Zazen, but the fact is that Zazen without the precepts is a bit directionless and can go off in strange ways. Just to tell you, one of our members in a war zone was quite upset and wrote me today because there had been a terrible bombing in the children's playground. And I wrote him to say that there really is evil in this world. At least in our hearts, human beings do terrible things to other human beings. And our bodhisattva path is to be the very opposite of that, to do good, to bring some peace and charity into this world. And that's what the precepts are all about. And they give direction to our practice, to keep us in good directions, healthful and healthy ways to live and help others. And also Jukai is about getting a little more serious and committing to this path. Really signing on a bit. You become part of the lineage of teachers going way back, all the way to the Buddha himself. And you agree to, how to say, get on this boat and help us sail it. But there's one more thing, the Rakusu, the Kesa. Now people wonder what's the difference between the Kesa and the Rakusu. Kesa, you know, is the robe that a Buddhist priest wears over their left shoulder. It's been so since India. It's not just Buddhists who wear them. They're really from Indian clothes. And they're a symbol of the Buddhist path. Master Nishijima, my teacher, took it very seriously. He said you could do away with all the other clothes, but The Kesa is very important, and sometimes he did that. Sometimes he would show up for an event, dressed to the nines, as we say, with a hat and robes that made him look like a old Chinese Mandarin, and then he'd wear the Kesa. But other days, he'd say that's not so important, and he'd wear a business suit, but still the Kesa. So what's the big deal about the Kesa? Well, the Rakusu, by the way, is just a kind of small Kesa. It's the 5-panel Kesa. It developed in China because, well, the big robes somehow were not good for just day-to-day working and going about one's business. So the smaller light Kesa was created, and that is the source of our Rakusu. And there's also a saying that when Buddhism was persecuted in China, it was something you could wear, shall we say, under your shirt. And just between you and your heart, there would be this Kesa, but not putting your life in danger by dressing like a Buddhist. And a funny thing that people don't realize is, in China, not sure about India, but I think so, lay people could wear the full Kesa over the shoulder. And that has been revived in our Nyoho-e tradition that we practice here at Treeleaf, and there are other places. Katagiri Roshi's lineage, San Francisco Zen Center, Okamura Roshi's place. Many places practice this Nyoho-e tradition where first you sew a Rakusu, you receive the Bodhisattva precepts in the Jukai, that's lay precepts. But then if you wish, you can sew a full Kesa and you can wear it. And you're encouraged to wear it. Master Nishijima had his Sangha members in Japan. They would come and sit Zazen, not ordained, they would wear the Kesa they had sewn. This is our Nyoho-e tradition. But what is the importance of this piece of cloth? What's the big deal? Now that's a good question. Yesterday, somebody posted somewhere on the social media that Master Dogen said that if you don't have a Kesa, well, it's not so important. You can forget about it. It's just something, a symbol of something, the priest, but it's not necessary, and you can put it aside. And I said, well, that's not really what Master Dogen was saying there. He said, if you don't have a Kesa, maybe because you're in a place where yours has been stolen, or you don't have funds, or someone has not given you one, but you want to practice, don't let that fact interfere with your practice. That's true. But then he said, but if you have a Kesa, wear it. And not only that, Master Dogen has probably written about the Kesa more than he's written about Zazen. He goes on for, I counted, about 75 pages of the most over-the-top, even for Dogen, language about the Kesa. He even claims it's going to cure dragons of fevers. If a dragon comes in contact with a Kesa and has a fever, his fever will go away. All these stories he tells page after page about the Kesa. What is so important about the Kesa? Why would Master Dogen think that way? And aren't we beyond all that? Well, look, you can look at it just as a symbol of something, but I'm going to say it's more than that. I mean, it could be a symbol like, I don't know, a gravestone for your grandmother is a symbol of her. Or wearing a wedding ring when you get married is just a symbol that, hey, leave this guy alone, he's hitched. Other ladies stay away, you know. Or if you're a doctor, the white coat really doesn't mean anything anymore, except it gives the patient confidence when the doctor walks in with the white coat. American flag or other countries' flag, you know, just kind of actually can be used badly, us against them, all these things. But isn't it something more too? All these symbols? the Christians have. They nail two pieces of wood together and they see all their teachings there. Are we just being like them, kind of silly, believing that this piece of cloth is somehow something sacred and special? Well, I don't know. Getting married, having a ceremony is a little different than just living together, maybe, at a certain point. It says something. It's not so important this day and age as it was maybe in the past, but still, it says something to stand up there, put on a ring, and say, "To death do us part." So there's that. To be put a gravestone on your mother's grave, it's more than just a rock. It's something that represents her and her life. A flag can be misused, but still it represents all the good things. Hopefully your country's good values, the good things you do, not just the bad. A doctor's uniform means he went to medical school and he deserves it. Let him wear it. It really does give confidence to the patient. I don't want my doctor walking in I don't know, overalls with a wrench saying he's going to do my heart surgery. So symbols are important. But the Kesa really is something we put our heart in. It represents something, okay? It represents something because we say it represents something. But it's a real meaning because the meaning is real in our heart. And what is that meaning? Well, as our chant goes, it's the robe of liberation. It's a symbol of freedom. Say it's our flag of freedom, if you would. Okay? Fine. And it's a formless field of benefaction. It's a field. The kanji for it, the Chinese character, is actually rice field, and it looks like a rice field. It's actually supposed to be designed like a rice field. All those little squares, on the Kesa, on the Rakusu, they're supposed to be like a rice field because it's a place where things grow and are fertile. And what could grow from it? Good things, wisdom, compassion are nurtured in this field. So we say, formless field of benefaction. It's formless because it's not just this cloth. The cloth stands for the universe, reality, emptiness is all in there. You see, it's not a thing. It's a thing that stands for no thingness, for all interconnection. You might say that the Kesa literally spans as far as the ends of the universe to the Big Bang and beyond, and sweeps it all in. Every thread holds the whole thing, just like our teaching that every single stitch of the universe, and by the way, you're one of those stitches, includes the whole cloth. Tug on any one end of a cloth and the whole thing moves. Even lightly, the other end of the universe moves. It represents the teachings of the Buddha. We say, wearing the Tathagata's teachings, the teachings of the Buddha, vowing to save all sentient beings, our Bodhisattva vows. It represents that. It is that. All right? That's why, hey, everybody needs something to mean something to them. And this is what we place our meaning in. And if it's silly, or just like those other folks who nailed two pieces of wood together, so be it. What's wrong with a couple of symbols? We have our statues and paintings and books. We can have this too. But finally, there's one lesson, and I encourage all of you to do sewing, and that is that the Kesa represents your life because it's imperfect, it takes effort, and you make mistakes. A little secret, we've set up the sewing half intentionally so that you are going to make a mistake or two and probably have to go back and fix something that you worked on for, Maybe you spent an evening and, oh my gosh, I have it upside down. Something like that is going to happen. And you know what? It's going to happen in your life. Things like that. And the lesson of the sowing is you bow to the mistake, you go back and fix it as best you can, continue from there. And it's just one stitch after one stitch. You don't think about finishing, you don't think about the goal. There's just this stitch right now, which is not yesterday's stitches nor tomorrow's stitches. Just this stitch and this stitch and this. And you do the best you can sincerely with this stitch right now. And by the way, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be beautiful. There are some people who make beautiful stitching, and that's lovely. It shows the care that's there. And there's people who make sloppy stitching. And frankly, that's not good. You should take care. Take your time. Be diligent. Don't rush this. Don't try to get to the end. Think, okay, I'll just do twice as many big stitches instead of little stitches. No, take care. Do this one and this one and this one. Take care with your life. Don't rush through. And then when it's done, it may be a little lopsided. It may be beautiful and even. As long as you were sincere and dedicated, that's the same two words I used last week, by the way. As long as you were sincere and dedicated in doing it, it is a perfect kesa. If you were not sincere and dedicated and just rushing through and sloppy and attached to it and just trying to get this little next toy in your life, no, that's not a good kesa. I don't care how beautiful it is. Kesa is not a toy, another acquisition. Don't be attached to your kesa. Honor your kesa, but don't consider it just oh, here's the next new pair of shoes I bought. Not like that. This is something special. And when you're done, it will be beautiful if you are sincere and dedicated. And then what you do, no matter how beautiful it is, symbolically is, you take a little ink or a little dirt, just a drop, and you put a smudge in the corner. Because this should never be perfect. There's always a smudge. There's always some spilled ink in life. And then you receive the precepts, you place it on your head, and you recite the verse of the Kesa. Robe of liberation boundless. Feel beyond both form and formless. There are other versions of this, by the way. This is just one that we use. Wearing the Tathagata's teachings, vowing to save all sentient beings. And then you put it on whenever you sit Zazen. Let us sit. We will now recite the verse of atonement and the 4 vows.
All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all. To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable, to save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable, to save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable.
Okie dokie. Well, we're going to have tea if anybody wants to stick around. Otherwise, the rest of you have a good sowing of your life this week. Good to see you, Chris. I got the guys here. Hey, Chris is in Scuba with us. So, okay, well, if you can join us for Jukai starting next week, I hope we'll see many of you there too. So, all right, see you guys later. Bye-bye. My wife wants to know the tea came from Kyoto.
Yeah, nice.
Kyoto tea. So I guess all of you have